live. Okay, I see a thumbs up, but I don't see anybody watching. So how is that possible? Is there anybody here? Okay, I see 3 people now. 4 people. Hello, welcome. Um, you guys have to comment in order for me to like know who's here. It's not like Instagram where I can actually see your names popping up. Um, Hi. Hey guys. I wasn't sure if anybody was gonna join because I don't really hang out around YouTube anymore. So I was like, I don't know if anyone is gonna watch or tune in or listen. Hi Angel. We're gonna get started in a minute. What I was trying to do was stream from my computer, but I have not done this in so long that I genuinely cannot figure out how to do it. So we might just have to stick with my phone for now. So yeah, I'll give people a little bit more time to join. But in the meantime, let me know like where you guys are watching from. I recognize some of the names, but not everyone. So just let me know where you guys are watching from and what are you currently doing. For me, I'm in Cali, so it's only 5:30 here. I know for some of you guys it might be like 8:30 or 7:30. But let me know where you're watching from, and then we're just gonna have a conversation. I'm also gonna paint my nails at the same time, so I have my little like kit of nail supplies here, and I'm going to just be painting my nails because it's been something that I've been saying I was gonna do for weeks, like shape them, paint them, all of that stuff, and I just have not gotten around to it yet. Um, I don't see any comments. Is it because? Hang on, let me. I really want to try and figure this out for my computer because I feel like on my phone I always miss like some of the comments. So like you guys will be talking to me and I won't even see it. I'm sorry guys, just give me 1 minute to try and figure this out. Um, am I streaming? I am, but that's not the one I want. Thank you guys for being patient with me while I figure this out. It's been a very long time since I've done a live stream on YouTube, and I'm literally like confused. I'm like, how do I do this? Uh, Hi Monique. Oh, Virginia. Wow. Oh no, Tennessee. Where I get Virginia from? Wow, I can't read. um. Okay. It's because I'm trying to multitask. How do I start this? Does anyone know how to do this? This is so bad. I used to know exactly what I was doing in these YouTube streets. So it's working? What's working? The stream? I mean, I know this stream is, I don't know if that's what you're asking, but I know that this stream is currently working. But what I'm trying to do is pull it up on my computer because I feel like on the phone, it's like I can only see some comments and I have to constantly like press the button. But whatever, okay. We're just gonna do this here because I can't figure it out. But next time I'll figure it out and we'll do it from my computer. Um, oh, the stream. It's okay. I'm all confused because I'm trying to multitask. It's not your fault. Um, but yeah, let me know who else is watching. Let me know where you're watching from, what you're currently doing. Like I said, I'm gonna be painting my nails at the same time because this is more of a just like a casual chit chat. Just like a catch up. We're gonna talk about a lot of different things, and I really just wanna see how you guys are doing. Um, I see Justice. Okay, I pulled up the comments on my computer. So I see Justice is here, Stephanie, Angel, Monique. Thank you guys all for joining. And then there's other people who haven't commented, so I can't actually see your names, but thank you for joining as well. Okay, so the first thing, okay, first and foremost, before we get into it, I have to say that you should be studying right now. Well, don't let me distract you. But I have to say that the only way this is really gonna be like enjoyable is if you guys interact with me, because it's a conversation. Like I don't have anything to offer you for real. I'm not sharing like any tips, or I mean I am sharing that stuff, but this is really like a conversation. So I think in order for both of us to get something out of it or to get the most out of it, it has to be interactive. Hi Janice from Brooklyn. Brooklyn in the house. But yeah, it has to be interactive. If not, I'm just gonna be talking to myself. Because yeah. So first and foremost, I'm doing crochet braids. Okay, so it might be difficult for you to text. So I mean for you to type. So I understand that. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of like check in because as you guys may have noticed, I have not been active on social media for the last couple of weeks, or maybe even like months. I don't know. It's kind of in and out. Like I've been posting on my podcast. If you're new, is anyone new actually watching? I always forget that there could be new people. I just assume that everyone knows who I am and what we're doing here. Um, but if you are new, I have a podcast, Tips for Nail Growth. I'll get to that in a minute, Stephanie. I'll definitely talk about that. Um, but yeah, I have a podcast and I have my YouTube channel, obviously, and then I have Instagram, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and Facebook group. But I have just not really been very active in a lot of those places, and a huge part of it is because of just personally some stuff that I've been going through, like outside of the pandemic that's happening, outside of the world's crisis. Abby is new. Did I say that right? Abby, or Abby? Thank you for joining us. Okay, considering the fact that there could be new people watching, I'm going to give the spiel of what my channel is about, just so we're all on the same page. But I'm Fatima, welcome. And my channel is really a personal journey, a personal diary of sorts of me sharing my journey of self-care, self-love, faith, spirituality, and mental health. And I talk a lot about being a Christian, and I talk a lot about God, but in a way that I personally believe is not invasive or like pushing anything on you. Is really just like, if you're curious, you want to know more about it, you want to know more about Jesus, you want to know more about spirituality, you want to know more about just how to incorporate it in your life in a very practical way, and this is the place for you. It's very non-judgmental, wow, group of women and men, mostly women though, and yeah, we talk about all the things from a very just real practical perspective, and like I said, non-judgmental. That's a big thing for me because I for a long time I didn't have faith. I didn't trust God or religion or Christianity or anything because people were so judgmental that I just rejected it. So I have curated a space that is based on helping others grow, and not from a place of judgment, but from a place of love and from a place of community and a place of connection. So here on this channel, I talk about my personal journey exploring those topics, and on my podcast, which is called the SoulBeautyChat, available on iTunes, Spotify, all the other places where you listen to podcasts. I interview people who share their journeys, and I share more like advice, whereas YouTube is just like my personal stories, my journey of becoming. Hello there, love your hair. Thank you, Candy Apple. So yeah, so that is what's happening here. The Soul Beauty Chat, the live Soul Beauty Chats are really just when I hop on here and do live streams, and we have conversations about various topics. As you can see from the title today, we're going to be talking about love, self-care, mental health, and during this pandemic that we're in right now. So, yeah, maybe we can just do like a check-in first. Like maybe we can just start with like a check-in of how everyone is feeling. How have you been doing? What have you been up to? And then I'll share some things that I've been up to in the meantime while those comments are coming in. But yeah, like I said, like I was starting initially, I have been just in a really just interesting space. You're welcome, Abby. You're welcome. I've been in a really interesting space for like the last couple of months before all of this broke out. I was just going through a lot personally that I will definitely open up about soon. I'm not sure if I'm ready to dive into it right now, but of course, like if I'm sharing my journey, you guys are gonna see it eventually. So I'm gonna talk about some of the things that's been happening. Um, as far as love and relationships and just things outside of the pandemic, because I think it's still important that although that's happening, we still talk about like, I feel like there's so much conversation right now about what's happening in the world, and I don't want to forget the conversation of like, how are we as people, outside of just what's happening in the world. I think that's important. I'm not saying that conversation is not important, but I would like to create a space where we can just talk about like how we're feeling, in the midst or whatever else is going on in your life, whether it's caused by that or caused by something else. Just taking time to acknowledge that. So if anyone feels comfortable sharing what they've been up to or anything they've been going through, this is the time to throw it in there. And then also let me know if there's any of the topics that I listed in the title that you really want to focus on. Let me know. Angel says, trying to get back to a routine, but I went back to being a vegetarian. Oh, that's awesome. Working on music and trying to keep it together. Decided to go back to being a nursing assistant in this pandemic. Oh, wow. So are you working currently? Oh, well, still looking for a job. Wow. What were you doing before, if you don't mind me asking, going back to being a nursing assistant? That's amazing. I honestly commend anyone that is like working in any essential job right now, whether you're working at a grocery store or Walgreens or CVS or the post office, or you're like a doctor or a nurse or whatever. It's like, it's really just a lot. And I truly commend anyone that is willing to, like, yes, I know you need money and that's the motive for a lot of people to show up, but also like a lot of people would not do it, a lot of people would not do it. So the fact that you are doing it, I just commend people who are like, someone has to do this job. I was an NA or nursing assistant before, but I had to quit back in January, and I was going to concentrate on being a creative. Oh, okay. Um, well, that is very commendable. And the beautiful thing about careers is that we can switch them, we can change them. So hopefully you don't, you still pursue it when the time is right for you. But yeah, what else have you guys been up to? I would love to hear. Hi, Kim. I would love to hear from other people. Like, what have you been up to during this time? I feel like there's also a lot of pressure right now to be like productive and creative and like write your next book and start this next big thing. And I think that's, that's cool if that's the space that you're in. But if that's not the space that you're in, what are you doing? How are you spending your days? I am personally still working, so I'm grateful for that. I'm working remote, so I'm grateful that I'm still able to do that. I don't have to like really worry about my income for now. If you guys have been following my vlogs, back in January, I was let go from my job. Like the whole team was let go. I recorded that in a vlog. If you guys want to check it out, it's the January vlog. So that was really difficult, but then just like God always does it, in the nick of time, he showed up and showed out and blessed me with, another position. So, Angel says, thanks for the appreciation, and I'm pursuing both. Can't wait till you share. Yes, the productivity thing can be annoying. I just do me. Yes, it could be very annoying. And I'm glad that you're pursuing both. What's the creative thing, if you don't mind me asking? I know you said music. Is that what you meant by like being a creative, or are there other things that you do as well? I don't know how to pronounce that. Mayara. I hope I said that right. Balancing the last semester of graduate school, working and interning remotely. Wow. That sounds like a lot. What are you in school for? Um, Sorry, I'm like really focused on getting my nails. I have like a very OCD when it comes to my nail shape. Oh yes, music. Oh nice. Um, but yeah, I would love to know what have you guys been doing if you haven't been like creating or like hustling or grinding or whatever. What have you been doing? Sounds exhausting. um, So yeah, for me personally, actually before I start, let me grab my charger because I think my camera, I think my phone is about to die in a second. So let me just grab my charger real quick. Be right back. Give me 1 second. Okay. So I would hate for this to cut off in the middle. So, can you guys still hear me and see me okay? I need to turn my brightness up or something. I feel like it's so hard to see these comments. Hang on. Okay. Okay, good. Stephanie says, I feel like the pandemic has low key made the semester unbearable. Yeah, I could imagine. You have to do everything online now, too. Janice, hello. She says, getting back into meditation and journaling, keeping up my assignments in school. A lot of you guys are in school right now. I'm curious to know how that's been with everything because all the schools are closed and everything's online. So I'm curious to know how that's been for everyone. Um, so I'll share. Thank you guys for sharing, by the way. I'll share. For me personally, like I said, I was going through a really difficult time. I would probably say since like January, it's just been like a rough couple of months for me emotionally, mental health wise, um, and also like I'm still fairly new to being in California. So I moved here in July, but I got settled in my place in like October. And I would probably say by like mid October, November is when it really hit me, like being away from my family, being away from my friends. And I talked about that in my last vlog too, where it was just like very like isolating. I feel like that's when it really set in. So just experiencing all of that and then all of this breaking out in February or yeah, like no, like March. And then also dealing with like a breakup that was also really challenging in the midst of that, like right before all of this happened. So there's just been a lot of stuff going on for me personally, but I wanted to share that like if you guys have noticed, I have not been very active. Like I was posting on my podcast consistently, but then around sometime in March, I think I stopped sharing content there. And okay, yes, do your hair, but you're listening. Thank you for contributing to the conversation. Someone said why? Why what? I didn't catch the full question. But yeah, so I stopped creating. I won't say I stopped creating, but I stopped posting content. So as someone that is a creative, my brain is kind of always creating content. Um, but I did stop sharing content in about March, I would say, because it just kind of all hit me, like the reality of everything. That's also around the time when everything broke out with the pandemic, and I was just like, oh, this is like a lot is happening right now, and I need to just kind of take a minute and reflect. And even being honest, there was a part of me that honestly felt guilty because I was like, I have this community, right? So I feel responsible in a way. I feel like I have anyone that has like a platform or a community is like we have some type of a responsibility to maintain that community or to have some type of even if we're not physically maintaining it, we have to oh someone else is going through a breakup too. Anybody else going through a breakup? Um, we have to just kind of like if we are the can you guys still hear me? Um, is my Wi-Fi on? is. Okay. But yeah, we have to spearhead, right? Like we have to navigate the community. And if I'm being honest, I actually felt really guilty because when all of this was happening, personally, so much was going on for me that I was just like, I can't hold space for anyone. Like, I really just needed to hold space for myself. And that's pretty much what I've been doing. Like, outside of working, because I shared with you guys, I'm still working my remote job. Um, I have not been like really creating content. I have not been being active on social media. I just have not been doing like my community justice in a way. You know, like I've been feeling like kind of like I'm letting you guys down in a sense, but I'm like, I know that I have to take care of myself before I can show up in any way online or in any space for anybody else. Like, I have to take care of myself first. And I've just been learning so much about myself lately through this season, through not only being isolated because of COVID-19, but being isolated because I'm literally isolated from my family and my friends on the East Coast. And I live alone, so there's also that part that's isolating. And then there's just so like, that's what I would kind of tell people when people are like, oh, like, you know, how are you, like, how's your quarantine going? And I would be like, I honestly felt like I've been in quarantine since like January in a weird way. Like, when I stopped working at my job at Red Table Talk, it was just like I had so much time and I was home most of the time during the day, and then I would go out sometimes during the weekend. But like, for the most part, I was home. So I feel like I've been like living this lifestyle for a while. And I'm just like, yeah, man, had I known that, I should have been out every weekend. Like, now I'm regretting all the weekends that I stayed home. What? All the weekends that I was just like, I'm gonna just stay home. I don't feel like going out. What? Or I don't feel like going hiking today. Or I don't feel like going to the beach today. What? Like, I should have just been out there. Because now I just be looking sad, like, dang, the beach, the hiking trails, that would be really nice. Um, but no, seriously though, I've been just allowing myself to feel and to be and to just experience all that I'm feeling. And some practical things, I regret it too, but I'm such a homebody. Me too. I'm naturally such a homebody, but this now just has me like, look, the moment they say we can go back outside, my homebody ways, I'm gonna have to just put them on the back burner for a little while, like just for a little while, like just until maybe the summer is over or something, because I just I just really miss, you know, the great outdoors. Um, oh my gosh, Felicia, wait. Hold up. I'm trying to read the comment that came before that, but then your comment popped up and I'm like, wait a minute. Raven, hi Raven. She says, I'm in college and still working remotely, trying to focus on myself in this weird time. The pandemic has shifted a lot of things I wanted to pursue this summer and the rest of the semester. I feel you. I feel you. Felicia says, I am also going through a breakup. I believe that's what you're referring to. Found out my boyfriend of 2.5 years. This is why I hate doing this on my phone. I'm sorry, guys. The comments keep disappearing. I'm trying to work it out. Was still secretly married. It came out last month. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That has to be, wow. That has to be rough. Thank you for sharing that though. I really appreciate you sharing that. Angel says no regrets. It was nowhere to go, lol. But yeah, I can't do open spaces like the beach because I be walking in my neighborhood. um, so before I share like some practical things that I've been doing during this time, just to give you guys some insight, and if you want some things to explore during this time, I want to talk a little bit about breakups and relationships and that whole thing. So, Felicia says, I'm thankful for therapy and people like you being transparent to let me know I'm not alone. Thank you so much for saying that. So, I feel like that actually just confirms that I need to go ahead and put out the series of videos that I've been working on. I'll give you guys a little like snippet of what I've been working on, but basically, I was in a relationship that started and ended very abruptly. There was a lot of love there because we were friends for like a year prior to making it official. So, when I say friends, I mean like we were considering being in a relationship. Um, but life, moving, distance, all of that stuff kind of like gets in the way sometimes. Um, so yeah, that happened, and it was like very abrupt, and it was just very painful, and it brought up a lot of like I would say traumas and core wounds and just issues that I didn't realize that I had, and things that needed to be healed and worked through. Um, and yeah, so it's like you guys will hear when I say the full story, I don't mean like I'm going to go into detail about the person and this and that, because even though I share a lot, I'm also very private. A lot of you guys know that, but I am going to share context for, like Felicia said, for people who are going through it to just realize that like you are not alone in what you're going through, because it's been rough. Like, I've literally never felt this way in any of my past relationships dealing with the breakup where it felt this painful and this heavy. And I just think it's like, in a way, I feel like it's because it's a combination of things. It's not just a breakup, it's not just, um, it's like I'm realizing that there's so much grief that comes along with breaking up with a person, regardless of how long you've been together. It's like you're grieving what you could have been. You're grieving the person that you were with this person. You're grieving like the friendship that you have with this person. You're grieving so many different things. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to relationships and breaking up. It's like when you break up with a person, there's like a whole grieving process that happens. And I've been doing research on like the different stages of grief, and there's like um actually, let me turn my camera on and share with you guys, because I think it's actually really interesting. I was like, wow, this is exactly how I'm feeling. Like, it just gave me so much context into what I was going through when I looked at it from the stage of like, I am actually grieving. This is not just a difficult time. This is like you are grieving, like for real. And it doesn't have to just be with death in the physical world. I think sometimes we think it has to be that way, that we don't even consider it when it comes to this. So the 7 stages of grief, and this is modified by the Kubler-Ross model. So the first stage is shock. Initially, you're paralyzed when you hear the bad news. The second stage is denial. You're trying to avoid the inevitable. The third stage is anger. Outpouring of you're frustrated, and you have an outpouring of bottled up emotions. The fourth stage is bargaining. You're seeking in vain for a way out. The fifth stage is depression, final realization of the inevitable. The sixth stage is testing. You're seeking realistic solutions. And the seventh stage is acceptance, finally finding the way forward. So I would personally say that I am somewhere between the fifth and sixth stage right now. I'm not fully at acceptance yet. For like the last month, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I've been feeling depressed. It's been like off and on, where it's just been like some days I feel really good, some days I feel like literal shit. And yeah, today is the day where I'm feeling really good, which is why I decided to hop up here. But there really is like these stages that we go through, and also they're not just linear. Like, I feel like sometimes they kind of happen out of this order, because I definitely had shock, and then from shock I kind of jumped to like acceptance, which is really weird. But I went from like being shocked to being like accepting of it, and then I went to being like in denial, and then I went to anger, and then I went to bargaining. It was like I skipped a bunch of steps and just tried to go straight to acceptance. And I feel like that's kind of like a protection mechanism in a way, where that's just like my brain is like trying to protect myself, that I'm like, or a defense mechanism where I'm like, oh, I can understand this rationally why it's happening, so that means that I am okay. That means that this is this is all fine because now I understand this from a rational standpoint. But that's just not, you have to feel what you're going through. You know, you have to genuinely allow yourself to feel it, and that is what I've been doing. So I'm gonna share, like, for real, what I have been doing on a almost daily basis to just navigate the space. Having a routine helps. Somebody talked about a routine earlier. Having a routine definitely helps me a lot. I notice on days where if I don't set an alarm, I don't do my meditation, I don't do any of my morning routine, I just lay in bed. Those are the days that I end up feeling terrible. Those are the days that I feel like by the end of the day, man, I just wasted a day. Or like I didn't do anything that I wanted to get done today. Like it was unproductive, yada, yada, yada. So that's one thing I notice is having a routine. Something else that I would say is like a little caveat to that is just like something that I'm practicing is that I notice that when I, regardless of if I am successful at having my routine and sticking to it or not, I try to be compassionate and gentle with myself regardless. And that's something that I would recommend for everyone, regardless if you're going through a breakup or if you're going through like physical grief of a person passing away, or if you're going through the loss of a job, if you're going through the loss of a friend or whatever. Like there's a lot of loss that could be happening in this season for a lot of people. So whatever it is, I think just having compassion with yourself on those days where you don't have a routine, on those days where you stay in bed and you eat snacks and you don't work out and you watch Netflix all day. Like, show yourself grace on those days too, because it's a part of healing. It is a part of it. Like, you have to allow yourself that space to just exist sometimes, right? And like, this is such a heavy time for so many people that it's like, and there's so much pressure to feel like you have to be doing something, but sometimes just existing is enough. Like, if you're going through a really difficult time, sometimes just being, just like eating is a accomplishment for the day, you know? And acknowledging that and being like, okay, I ate today. That's a big deal. If you have been feeling crappy and you haven't been taking care of yourself at all, you know? So instead of looking at it as, dang, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't work out, I didn't take a shower, I didn't do my hair, like, think of what have you done, you know? I think switching your perspective is really helpful. Something else that I've been doing is I have been intentional. And I actually have a whole like intention setting process that I have, and maybe at some point I'll share with you guys. But I created my intentions at the beginning of this month, and I set manifestations that I'm working towards, and I set practical day to day intentions of how I'm gonna get there. And I just created like a little grid for myself. It gives me something to kind of keep myself accountable, and I check it off every day. But a few of the things I'll share, a few of the things up there for me is, one is to just feel and look my best daily. Like, that's one of my intentions that I set for this month. And how I do that is just by taking time to actually get dressed, even if I'm not going anywhere. Like 95% of the time, I'm not going anywhere, but still making an effort to get dressed as if I am, like to still just look cute and put together, and doing my makeup. I didn't do my makeup today. I just put my eyebrows, I just did a little bit to my eyebrows and put on some mascara. But yeah, that has been helping me a ton. Like, I notice on the days where I have my makeup done and my outfit on, and I just feel good. Like, I just feel better about life, about everything, when I'm just pulled together versus when I'm just moping around in like a hoodie and leggings for like a week. Like, that just contributes to me feeling like crap. So that's something that I have been doing that has been helping. Something else that I have been intentional about is moving my body for at least 30 minutes a day. So before all of this happened, your girl was in the gym. I was getting my hot girl summer body ready, you know. I was in the gym like at least 4 to 5 times a week, like lifting weights, doing classes, doing cardio. And it was working, and I felt really good. You know, I felt really good and really positive. And I noticed when all of this happened, I was just like, dang, so does this mean I'm gonna lose all of my like hard work and effort? And I had to shift my perspective around that too, because back to what I was saying before is like, I just have to give myself grace for existing right now, because this is a really difficult period of time. So I'm not gonna beat myself up for not running for an hour, or not doing a hit cardio workout, or not losing weight or gaining muscle. Like, no, sis, no, that's not the goal right now. The goal right now is to simply move my body for at least 30 minutes a day. That can be dancing, that can be walking, that can be going to the park and just like kicking around a ball. It can be anything, but just moving my body for at least 30 minutes a day. And it's actually not that hard to do. Like, I've been tracking myself doing it. It's really not that hard. Sometimes instead of like driving to, let's say, like Walgreens, or, you know, to the dollar store to like pick up a few things, instead of driving, I'll just walk, and that alone will give me my 30 minutes of cardio a day. So that's something else I've been doing. And then something else I've been very intentional about is just really giving myself space to feel my emotions. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like, this may sound crazy. Let me know if you guys have ever done this. But I have had a tendency in the past, because I'm working on changing it. In the past, right? I have been guilty of, I feel something and I'm like, I'm feeling something coming up. I don't know what it is, so I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm just gonna suppress it, suppress it, suppress it. Even if I'm not consciously saying that, I'm doing that with my actions, because I'm not acknowledging it. I'm just going about my day. I'm getting busy. I'm finding other things to do. I'm getting consumed with the SoulBeautyChat community and podcasts, and I just like work my way through it. And over the last couple of weeks, because I have not, I've had to learn to feel my emotions too. It is actually a practice. All of this is a practice, by the way. Everything that I'm sharing, I'm not sharing any of this to come across as like I figured it out. No, this is daily. Like, every day for me, I am working at these things. Um, but yeah, so what I have been practicing is, if something comes up for me, um, usually I feel it in my body first, right? Because my mind sometimes is so off on Wonderland, like just in other places that I can't process it, but I feel it. So maybe I'll feel tense in my shoulders, or I'll have lower back pain, or I'll feel, for me, a big one when I'm feeling stressed and overwhelmed is my lymph nodes will get swollen. Don't know why, but that is like the trigger for me, where I know I'm reaching my breaking point when my lymph nodes start to swell. And then usually my tonsils will start to feel inflamed, and then my ear will start aching. It's like, that's where it shows up for me. I'm curious to know if you guys have certain parts in your body where your body starts to ache, or you have pain in a certain spot, and you know that like you're reaching your stress, like you're getting way too stressed out and you've been ignoring it. But that's how that's how it shows up for me. So what I've been doing is I try to prevent it from getting to that point. So I check in with myself in the morning. So like, as soon as I open my eyes, before I check my phone, Instagram, back, shoulders, and neck. Yeah, that's a common place for a lot of people. Um, Also, side note, I've unfollowed everyone on Instagram, and that has helped a ton. A ton, like just unfollowing people. Heavy chest, 100%, about my body feeling it for shoulders and neck. That's so interesting. A lot of people saying their shoulders and neck. But yeah, I unfollowed everybody on Instagram, so I don't even have the desire. And when I do have the desire, I'm like, oh yeah, there's nothing to see there, because I don't follow anybody. Headaches, yes. Oh my gosh, I've been getting a lot of sinus headaches lately, like right in this area. So what I've been doing, right, I try to prevent it before it gets there. So in the morning, I lay in bed and I'm like, I literally ask myself, how do I feel today? And I start to journal about it, usually in my phone, sometimes in a notebook. And I'm just like, my body feels good today, or my shoulders feel tense, or my neck feels tight, or whatever. Like, I start to describe what I'm feeling in my body. And then from there, I will start to talk about the emotions that I feel are connected to those pains or those things. Sometimes I get really deep into it and a lot of emotions come up. Other times it drifts off into something else. Like 1 minute I'm talking about the pain in my shoulder, and the next minute I'm talking about like, I don't know, something completely just not related to my emotions. So I tried to do that little quick check in with myself. And then I like to go into my meditation. So, guided journaling prompts. I do. I'll share that a little bit later as well. Remind me, the two things I want to talk about is the journaling prompts, and somebody asked me about my nails. Um, so yeah, I will uh, do my meditation where I have a bunch of different meditations that I do, but I do either guided meditation or unguided meditation. Um, then I will like pray, do my devotional. Um, Sometimes I'll do yoga. Sometimes I'll just stretch. Sometimes I will just journal. It really just depends. I allow my mornings to be fluid. It's not like a rigid routine, like I gotta do this, 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 and this. It's just like, do what feels good, do what you feel like your body needs, but make sure that you check in with yourself and that you check in with God before you start your day, period. At least for me. Those are the two non negotiables. How I choose to check in with myself is flexible. It could be through journaling, it could be through um, praying, it could be through meditating, but I know that I need to check in with myself and I need to check in with God before I start my day. If not, like it's gonna be rough because I'm already not starting on the right page. So so yeah, those are some of the things that I do in the morning, and then I'll actually start my routine where I'm like, maybe I'll listen to mantras, or I'll do some mirror work, or I'll do some breath work, or I'll make a cup of tea, or I'll go for a walk and I'll like meditate out in the park. It just depends, I really just try to like tune into what do I need today. Like after I ask myself, how am I feeling today? Then like a little later into my practice, I'm like, so what do I need now? And something else that's been really helpful is I've been like asking myself, dang, it just slipped from my mind. It was something else I was gonna share. Something else that I've been doing is instead of being like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, instead I'm like, just one thing at a time, right? Because I find a lot of times, like being someone that's very creative and very organized, I'm constantly like, okay, I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna do that, then I'm gonna do that. Like I gotta do this, and I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna wash the dishes, and I'm gonna do like, breathe, sis, and just do one thing. What are you gonna do in this one moment? In this one moment, I'm gonna get out of the bed. In the next moment, I'm gonna go brush my teeth. Like just literally being that step by step with myself, I feel like helps a lot with the anxiety and the pressure of like trying to be productive, to like trying to like be so productive that I'm not feeling what I'm feeling. When I think about things as one step at a time, it allows me to really show up for what I'm feeling. Something else that I enjoy doing that I would encourage you guys to try. When I said it may sound crazy, this is what I was referring to. I literally, this chair that I'm sitting in right here, sometimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed with emotion, I'm like, I don't know what I'm feeling right now. What am I feeling? I don't even know. I will literally sit in this chair or on my bed or on the floor, and I'm just like, okay, what are we feeling? What am I feeling right now? What am I feeling? And asking myself that question and asking it honestly and being honest with myself, usually something shifts, something comes up. Maybe it starts with I'm sad, or maybe it starts with I feel lonely, or maybe it starts with I feel overwhelmed. Candace says, do I know my personality type? I sure do. It is INFJ, which is introverted, intuitive, feeling, and judgmental. Let me know your personality types in the comment section. I love a good personality type horoscope. Anything that tells you about your personality, I'm here for it. So drop your stuff in the comments because I would love to know from everyone, not just Candace. So that is kind of how I have been navigating the space. Also, lots of time in nature. I know we're supposed to stay home and stay safe, and I hear you and I agree. And I'm not advising anyone to not do those things, but I know that as humans, but especially as Fatima, I need sunlight, I need fresh air, and I need nature. Nature literally revitalizes me. Oh, another INFJ. Hey. but nature literally just like revitalizes my spirit. So I'm cautious when I do it. I keep my social distancing. I stay within 6 feet. If I see somebody walking on the same side of the street, I quickly, cross, or I get in the street. Um, INFP. Oh wow, yeah, very similar. Um, but yeah, I'm doing all those things. I wear my mask when I'm at the grocery store, and so the security guard at the grocery store gave me a mask today because I didn't have one. And I think now in LA County, stores and places can just refuse you if you don't have your face covered. So the guy was nice enough to give me a mask. Um, but yeah, I'm doing all those things, but I still, like, we still have to take care of ourselves, right? And if if you're in a space where you're healthy and you're in a space where you can protect yourself and others by maintaining, all the recommendations of the CDC and your state regulations, like, even if it's just going outside for 5 minutes, standing on your steps or in your backyard. I don't have a backyard, but if I did, like, I would totally just do that. But like, making time to like go outside and get fresh air is so important. Like, it is so important. Like, it is like scientifically proven that if we do not get sunlight and fresh air, like, we literally can feel more depressed. We literally can have more issues with our body. So it is so important to me. Um, do I think my personality type is a permanent trait or relevant to where you are in life? Oh, hello, OJ. Um, I'll answer that question in a second. Um, so yeah, it's so important. So I think we have to, as much as we are trying to stay safe, we also have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. And if that means going for a 5 minute stroll, then do so. If that means going to the park for a little while, do so. Keep yourself safe, but also do what you need to do for your mental health and for your well-being. Um, but keeping yourself safe and other people safe is just as important as that. So yeah, so those are some of the things that I've been doing. So now I'm going to answer some of the questions that came in. I'll answer OJ's question since it's the first one here. Do you think your personality type is a permanent trait or relevant to where you are in life? I think, I don't know if it's permanent because I do feel like it can change over time. Like, that Myers-Briggs one especially, I think is recommended that you take it like every couple of years or so because it can change. Kind of like introvert and extroversion, it's like it can change like over time, through your life experiences. However, do I think that it is relevant to where I am in life? Um, I think it is relevant in a sense. I don't think it dictates it, but I definitely feel like it contributed to it in a lot of ways because I learned about the Myers-Briggs personality type when I was probably in like 2015 or 2016, and the type that I am, the INFJ, the name for it is the advocate, and I thought that was so interesting because that's a great way to describe like me as a person. Like, I'm very like, with this community, with a lot of the work that I've done in my professional career, I've been the advocate for people, for communities, for spaces. Like, that has just been the role that I've played. So that was one of those moments where I was like, oh, that totally makes sense that like it's called the advocate, and this is something that I've been genuinely doing way before I figured out what it was. So I'm curious to know from other people who are watching with the same type or other types, if you feel like your personality type is relevant to what you're doing today, or if it is permanent. But yeah, OJ, what's your personality type? Do you know? Um, so yeah, that is my thoughts on that. Now, somebody asked me a question about journaling prompts. I do have journaling prompts. I have, let me see. I have, I'm trying to think if they're in one place. I don't think they are. So I have a few different videos where I talk about journaling, and those could probably give you some prompts to start with. I guess I have a question for you before I share the resources. Um, what are you struggling with when it comes to journaling? Like, what topic would you like journaling prompts on? And then I can direct you and let you know if I have something based upon that topic. Um, But yeah, and then somebody asked me, if you guys have other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments too. But somebody asked me about my nails, which I was supposed to be painting. I didn't paint them. I didn't even finish filing them. Tips for nail growth. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. My nails look the way that they are. These are my natural nails. My nails look the way that they are. One, because of genetics. My mom and my dad both have long nails, healthy nails, and well, they can grow long nails and healthy nails and hair. So it's partially genetics. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not even gonna hold you, sis. It's partially genetics. And then the other part I would say is my diet. I drink a lot of water and I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. This is a green smoothie here that I'm drinking. I try to have at least one a day. I eat a like 90%, 95% plant-based diet. Occasionally I'll have fish, but I don't eat meat. I try not to consume dairy or dairy products. And yeah, I drink a lot of water. So I'm sure that is a part of it as well. And then the third thing, the one other thing that I would say is like an actual thing that you can like buy is the brand doesn't matter. Honestly, the brand does not matter. You go to any beauty supply store and get the nail polish that has garlic in it. I believe this one has garlic in it. So at just about every beauty supply store where they have, well, beauty supply stores are closed now. Oh my God, you could probably find it online or like a Walgreens or something like that. In the nail polish section, there's like clear, there's matte, there's all those shades, and then there's usually one that has garlic in it. I believe this one has garlic in it. I don't actually know what this one has in it. I think I got this one from the 99-cent store, but beauty supply stores typically have, from the brand Nika K, they usually have the garlic one, and that's something that I've been using for years, honestly. And yeah, my nails, it keeps your nails nice and strong. Yes, garlic. Garlic is the thing. And also I eat a lot of garlic too. I eat a lot of garlic, ginger, turmeric, because those are all great anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antibacterial foods. So if you guys are concerned about like getting the virus, not saying it's going to cure anything because I can't prove that, but I can definitely tell you that those things will for sure boost your immune system, like for sure, because I've seen it happen in my own life where I used to get sick all the time. And honestly, I don't even remember the last time that I've been sick for longer than 24 hours. Like now when I get sick or I'll feel the symptoms coming on and I'll just double up on all of my garlic, ginger, honey, turmeric, elderberries, apple cider vinegar, and by the next day, I kid you not, I'm like back to normal. So just putting it out there, you know, to each his own. Some people think that like natural herbal remedies and stuff don't work, but I've literally seen the power, and my immune system has definitely improved because of it. Let's see what some of the comments are saying. Uh, Mostly about putting my thoughts in order since I overthink about everything, and also journaling so I can reach my fitness goals if that even exists. So you can journal about anything. So that does exist. You can totally journal about anything. I think as far as it comes to like goals, if you want to journal about goals, honestly, I think you can Google this stuff on your own, right? Like I'm definitely not trying to like push anything on you, but if you're serious about just like if your goals is something you want to focus on, actually I have a whole course on my website um, that really helps you to get focused and get aligned with your goals, the things you're trying to accomplish. It's called Abundant Living, and I believe it's like 20 some dollars. Um, I'll drop that in the comment section if you're interested, but that is a 4-week course. It was previously recorded though, so you can literally do it in a day if you wanted to, but it was created over the period of 4 weeks. And there's journaling prompts, there's coaching sessions with myself and professional life coach Wakia Hayward, who's also my big sister and like my mentor. And we guide through 4 weeks of just coaching and guidance and bringing together the spiritual side of setting goals and working towards goals, but also the practical side of it. So that's a great place to start. But also, like I said, if that's not something that you can afford or something you're interested in, you could always just like Google journaling prompts and look up stuff like that. And also, like I shared before, I have videos that are about goal setting. I have videos that are about journaling, so you can also use those too as resources as well. I'm going to drop the link in here just in case you or anyone else is interested in learning about that course. But it's called Abundant Living, and it's currently $29 on my website. So that's something that you can check out if you're interested. So yeah, I think those are all the questions. You're welcome. Do you guys have any other questions for me? Let me just look at my notes. I think we covered everything that I wanted to talk about. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up my notes. I guess the one other thing that I wanted to share with you guys is, well, I think I kind of already shared this, that I'm going to be sharing more of my story around healing, like on every level. So healing mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. I'm going to be sharing like some more about what I eat, because a lot of people ask me about my skin, like, oh, how does your skin, like, tell us your skincare secrets. And I think what I put on my skin is important, but I think honestly, like right now I don't have any makeup on this part of my face. I only have makeup on my eyebrows and mascara and like the glow. Like this side I have some hyperpigmentation, but like the glow, sis, is real. And it has a lot to do with what I eat. Does the diet help with your mood? 100% helps with my mood. Oh my gosh, it helps so much. The diet helps so much. You had a 7-day journaling prompt. Oh yes, thank you for reminding me of that. I forgot all about that. Where's the comment? YouTube, come on. Oh, back in the day, that thing saved my life. Oh, you're welcome. The 7-day journaling prompt. Do I still? You know what? Abi, if you're still here, that might be a free resource for you to try. I know I took that off of my website at one point, but I can't remember why. Let me just take a look. Thank you for reminding me of that. That's so crazy how like I created this myself and I literally don't even remember it. It feels like a lifetime ago. Okay, I found it. So the 7-day prayer journaling challenge. So this is not necessarily about goal setting. So I don't know if this actually, yeah, this isn't super specific to goal setting. It might help. It's free if that's a place that you want to start, but it's not 100% about goals. Whereas the Abundant Living course is very centered on goals. Um, So this program is for you if you're ready to build a stronger relationship with God. You've tried to hear from God in the past, but you aren't sure if that was him. You know that you have a bigger purpose in life and you're tired of playing small. You feel like God is upset with you because you've been distant for so long. So yeah, so this 7-day challenge is really more so for people who want to rebuild their connection with God. Like if you feel like you're just distant from God, that's what the 7-day prayer journaling challenge is focused on. So yeah, let me go to my shop and see if there's anything else in here that might be beneficial for goal setting. No, I think that's the only one right now. But yeah, my website is called SoulBeautyChat.com. So for anyone that's just curious in like resources for navigating this journey, just check there, and also check the archive of my videos and my podcast, because I have a lot of free content that can probably help you as well. But I am going to be creating a lot more just things that you guys can consume, like the self-love worksheet that I created for the podcast for episode 58, where I talked about building self-love before you start dating. You guys really, really like that. Like I got a lot of really positive feedback on that. A lot of people purchased the worksheet. So there'll probably be more stuff like that because I think that's more accessible for people. It's like quick. It's you're welcome. Thank you for joining. It's quick. It's like bite size, and it's something that doesn't take a lot of commitment. Where I find that like courses and coaching, people are kind of like, oh, I don't know, because it's can cost more, and also it requires a lot more commitment. So you guys can expect that. Also, the podcast, I'm going to be bringing the podcast back. Can't say exactly when yet, but it will be coming back, and I'll be having interviews with more people. We're going to be talking about a lot of different, like, really amazing topics. So if you have anyone that you are like, oh, I would love for you to interview this person, or just any ideas around that, like people you're curious to know their story, you can leave it in the comment section, or you can send me a DM on Instagram. I'll definitely try to respond to you guys. And what else? I think that's everything. Do you guys have any questions for me? I did not paint my nails. This did not get anywhere. You're welcome, Candace. Thanks for joining. Okay, so if I don't see any more questions, I'm gonna assume that you guys don't have any. Thank you so much for tuning in. To any newcomers, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Like I said, make sure you check out my podcast, the Soul Beauty Chat, on all the things: iTunes, Spotify, Anchor. What else? I think that's it. You're welcome. Thank you guys for joining. I wanted to show you guys my nails after I painted them, but like realistically, I don't have anything else to talk about unless you guys have more questions. I don't want to just sit here painting my nails in silence. So I'm going to finish painting my nails off camera. And if you guys think of any other questions or anything, you can always reach out to me. But if not, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this chat. I definitely enjoyed chatting with you guys, and hopefully I'll be doing more of them soon. Stay safe. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next video.